Hey, this isn't part of the marathon, but it's still Doctor Who related, as we're going to be talking about An Adventure Space of Time by Mark Gatiss. And wow, don't know if you can tell. If I look a bit ill, I do apologise. I'm a full-grown man, but I can admit this made me cry a few times. Oh my god! I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's just I don't even know where to. This film. For those of you who don't know, in 2013 was Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. And Mark Gatiss had this big project. He wanted to get out a film based off the makings of Doctor Who in the first 3 years, specifically about William Hartnell's time. And it's just, I can't even put it in words. I am very struggling here. It's unusual for a based on true story about a famous filmmaker or like an actor or something, because usually it delves more into their personal lives and like their trouble with their families or their friends and stuff and their love life. But in my opinion, that's kind of like the wrong way to take it, because you're advertising your story to be part on what these people actually did to make themselves so big. So this actually details the making of Doctor Who, which works so much better. It doesn't mean though it doesn't pull its punches. There's a lot of very heartbreaking moments, and it really touches onto what makes the show just amazing and stands out for years and years to come. Because yes, this film is about change, and everybody even the film itself changes, as it starts off with Verity Lambert as our main character, and she's helping Sydney Newman become making the show with Warwick Hussein, played by Sacha Darwin. That's just really cool in retrospective. But I digress. And then slowly William Hartnell kind of becomes the main character. And when halfway through the film Verity Lambert, who was the main character at the start, leaves, and the end of it is about William Hartnell and his struggles with change, as everything changes around him, with Carol Ann Ford leaving, and then Verity Lambert leaves, and there's a great scene where where they're starting the film, and William Hartnell just shouts that nobody can do their job right. He actually gets the TARDIS rotor to go, which is incredible. Right, let's talk about Bradley Bailey. Now, Bradley Bailey is a big actor. Mainly he was known before this for playing a character in Harry Potter. But until this came out, I didn't realise that he was probably one of the best actors. I don't even know where to compare it to. Do I say the best actor living? Best actor of all time? I have no idea. Bradley Bailey really puts a soul into this character version of William Hartnell. One of my favourite bits is, well, at the start of the story, when you see him before Doctor Who, he's like a grumpy old man. And there's a bit where his granddaughter's playing on his lap, and he tells her basically to shut up. But with the show, and he slowly, when he reveals to his daughter about the show, and the show has like him with the granddaughter and stuff, and you can see him really warming up to not just the concept, but to his own granddaughter. And then there's a great moment where like his granddaughter is like talking about the show and how amazing it would be to travel through space and time. And then there's a moment then, I can't remember what she says. She asks him a question, and then William Hartnell then goes silent, and it cuts to the next scene with them on set, and William Hartnell is just like, right, when's the set gonna be built? I need to learn where the buttons are, because the kids, they will know if we're botching this up. I need to know where all the controls are, like which ones opens the doors, which one turns the scanner on. And I don't know if that's true, but if that is, wow, William Hartnell is just a man of gold. But it also deals with the harder life lessons with him. His health is deteriorating and he has to kind of give up the show. Or Sidney Newman fires him, and I'm sorry, I'm completely butchering this. But this film just shows how important this small little program that used to be on mostly every Saturdays, how much it's mean to people throughout the years, and how the lessons of change are present in all of our lives. It's something you can't really describe with words. You just gotta watch it. It's probably, I don't know if this is, I don't know, thinking it now, it might feel like I'm over-exaggerating, but it is my favourite film of all time. Yeah, sorry, this has gone really, I don't know where to go with this. I'm just praising it. And a few times it's brought me into tears. Like, there's a great bit after he finds out that they're going to continue the show without him. He's talking to his wife, who's in the who's in the background, and she's like, it's for the best, you know, your health is deteriorating, and Doctor Who is like really isn't helping, it's just constantly like pushing you. And then William Hartnell is just like, yeah, and it'll lead to, and I left my stamp on it, and it'll lead to bigger and better things. He does the William Hartnell hums, which he does throughout the story in the scenes of the set, but that's the first time he does it as William Hartnell, as himself, showing that the character's really, it means a lot to him. And whilst this goes on, then you see his wife walk off into a different room, and then William Hartnell just breaks in tears and is like, I don't want to go. Which may be a reference to the 2009 story, The End of Time. And when that goes on, then William Hartnell's wife runs in and comforts him. And see this character, this actor that we've all grown to love with, it really hits you hard. Obviously, a big factor for it is because I am a huge fan of the show. So I don't know what this will be like to people who don't know, who haven't watched anything of it. Like when I first watched it back in 2013, I only seen a handful of First Doctor stories, like the first three stories and the Time Meddler. They were the only 4 stories that I've seen back then. But now I've watched this whilst doing a massive marathon of all William Hartnell era, and it really hits hard. I can't stress it enough. I'm just lost for words. I'm sorry, this is just me rambling now. But it shows that nobody really owns Doctor Who. At one point in the story, there's a bit where William Hartnell is basically shouting at Carol Ann Ford because she's spending all her money, and he's like, we don't know when this will last. And William Russell is like, none of us are irreplaceable. And then later on you see him with the annual, which is this cover here. Bit of a nitpick, but they show that being made when they were making the Reign of Terror, but it clearly can't, the annual couldn't be made then because it's got the Zarbi from later on in season 2, so bit of a nitpick. Anyway, and then once that happens, he basically holds the annual to his face, the captain is like, no one's irreplaceable, jokingly, as if it's like, right, I'm not changing. This is, I am the Doctor. And there's a great bit later on where his wife is telling him to give it up because of his health. And William Hartnell's like, even if I wanted to, I can't. There's so many people relying on me. But change is inevitable. And that's what really Doctor Who's about. It's constantly changing from setting to setting. The actor's always changing. The cast is always like in and out. And nobody owns Doctor Who. Like, somebody who grew up with the show from the 60s would have a completely different view of it from somebody who watched it in the 70s, and the same for the 80s, and who watched the TV, whose first experience was the TV movie or the new series. And it's just, you can't put into words how much this one little show that's constantly changing, that has brought a lot of group of people who otherwise, if these are all different shows, wouldn't have anything in common. But because it's this one thing that changes and evolves, it's brought so much people together. Now, as I'm recording this, I don't know where we are when this goes out. We are in lockdown. And recently, there was this whole thing with a lot of fans got together and watched The Day of the Doctor, and then Rose, and Vincent and the Doctor, and just to see the community, us nerds, band together. Doesn't matter what our opinions are, whether we like a certain part of the show or not. We're all in it because we learn to live with change, and we learn to experience this massive adventure where we can go anywhere and anywhen, but it's not set in stone. One day we all have to change. We all have to, our eras, though may be stuck in our memories, it has to continue in a different form. And especially with this lockdown and recently, it has really touched me personally. I know this is probably really stupid and dramatic. I do apologise. I'm going to air this unedited. And you just can't stress enough how much this small sci-fi program affects people who might not have much in it, you know, in life in general. There's a few bits I've kept to myself where I've just hated myself, and sometimes I can't I'm not very good with change, like when moving to schools. I mean, obviously when you go to comp, and then when you finish school, and then changing colleges and leaving college, and making work and just changing. It's really hard. And this... Sorry. This is retarded. Sorry. Anyway, I'm somebody who struggles with change. And I think if it wasn't for the TARDIS and the Time Lord changing his face and having new friends all the time, I don't think I would have learned as much to cope with it as I would, with the show. So, and I just started doing this marathon because I like the show so much, and it's stupid, it's childish, it's a kid's show. Those people can fuck off. But I just want to say, Verity Lambert, Sydney Newman, Warwick Hussein, William Hartnell. Thank you. So, bye.